get in these moods where it's like, let me try something different. Let me do, you know what I mean? Let me just go outside the box and like, you know, I don't like to stay idle for too long. Like I gotta always be doing something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if I sit and I don't get my hands like mixy doing something, then I feel like I'm like not doing shit. Like I'm not being productive.
Right. I mean, stagnation does cause a lot of discord in your life, so
That's a fact.
you got to keep it going.
But it's like you gotta find like a balance too, though. Like where you take time to kind of decompress. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I think we get too caught up in like moving at like 100 miles per hour, and we forget to kind of like sit and really just like take in what we're doing, how we're doing it, and like how is it affecting us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because it's like we can overwork ourselves and then get like burnout's a real thing too. So
How does it affect you? Like
what,
your whole
burnout
process?
or like
You can even talk about burnout. You know, how does this all affect you in some type of way?
like honestly, like it depends. Like especially in moods. Like if I feel like I'm feeling complacent, I'll try to like work through it, right? But then sometimes it doesn't translate when it's designing. And in the moments where I kind of like, you know, just sit in myself and like kind of just like recollect it, inspiration will come out of nowhere. Or like, oh, let me actually do that. Cause then you can't like, sometimes you can't force creativity. Like as much as you want to like create something right on the spot and do it like how you want to do it, sometimes the day is not that day. Sometimes it's just kind of like sit in your thoughts and think about how you want to do it, or is this even right, or you know what I mean? Like
You can probably even take weeks to come up with
yeah,
something.
sometimes it's like
Yeah.
some of my best work, my back is against the wall, and I'm just like, fuck it, like you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta like kind of just say, you know what, throw in the Hail Mary, because then you can kind of like force it, but it may not get the results that you're looking for, even though you think in your head that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
And the stuff that you're like, oh man, I don't know, but here it goes. Those kind of come out the best sometimes, you know what I mean? So I try not to like really get in my head too much about it and just kind of go with the flow and go with like the universe is kind of telling me, you know?
Right. I mean, not to shift it too much, but I remember we was talking before, like are you from Vegas or?
No. So I'm from Rhode Island, born and raised over there. I lived there for like 27 years of my life, and then I moved to Long Beach. I was there for like 3 years, and now I'm here in Vegas. So I came in Vegas in like 21 and been here ever since.
Okay. How's Rhode Island? That's
Rhode Island is it's a lot,
a small
man.
state.
Yeah,
It's a
like I
small
like to
state.
say like Rhode Island, I wear it on my back though. Like everything about me is so Rhode Island. Like my obviously my accent, right? But like my mannerism, my like my morals, how I move, what I believe in. It's just it's like you can kind of say like I have that like Rhode Island pride or Providence pride, where it's like it's a small state, but we always gotta like have that chip on our shoulder because we always get like overlooked sometimes, you know.
For sure, because you the first person I met from Rhode Island.
I get that a lot.
That rep it too.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not like, I love to say that I'm from Rhode Island. Sometimes people will be like, oh, Long Island, and I gotta correct them. I'm like, nah. Because they'll be like, oh, you're from New York, right? I'm like, nah.
That's totally different.
Yeah,
totally
it's 3 hours away, so it's completely different. Like, yeah.
How was it growing up there? Was it pretty, like, did you like that experience growing up there? Do you wish you grew up in Vegas or Long Beach after you visit those places?
Hell no. Because I feel like if I grew up anywhere else, I wouldn't be who I am today. You know what I mean? Like Rhode Island really shaped who I am and my personalities and my beliefs. So like growing up there it was different. You know what I mean? What I love about Rhode Island is like a melting pot of like culture, art, community. Like it's small, so like you kind of like are in the community regardless if you want to be in it or not. You know, people like you go to school, people will recognize you in school, or like you may not go to the same school, but they'll know you of somebody or somebody. So it's really kind of community based. It could be a good or a bad thing, but that feeling is kind of still nice though. Like I've been in Long Beach when you may not see the person that you saw last week ever again. You know what I'm saying? Where Rhode Island, you're gonna see this person and you become familiar with places and you feel like you can go anywhere. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna go and see somebody you know.
Based on your environment and like where you grew up specifically, what's like a staple, like a Rhode Island staple?
All right. So I grew up in the South Side. So like the inner city. And when you say a staple, like food wise, or just like
Anything, culture. You can mention food.
I mean, Rhode Island got like its unique
Stores.
stuff. So like, there's Rhode Island pizza, but to me, it's trash. It's caca. Like it's basura because it's
Yeah.
like it's really like bread and pasta dough, no cheese, no pepperoni, no nothing.
Yeah,
And
that
like
don't
if you
sound
ever look
good.
it up, it's depressing. Um, but I think our own like slang. I think we have our own slang, and I didn't realize it until I left. But it's like a mixture of like Rhode Island. I mean, Rhode Island. It'll be like it's a mixture of like New York and Boston,
Okay.
because it's like I guess you could say the little brother of those two states in a sense. But like I like to just feel like we still our own individuals. So like my nationality is Cape Verdean, so I didn't realize that like Rhode Island and like Massachusetts is really the two places that are predominant. Like that's where you can really find that kind of culture there. Like
Yeah.
once I left, I didn't realize like it's not everywhere. You know what I mean? So I would say like Rhode Island is the food, the community, and the people. You know what I mean? Like we are unapologetically. I can't even say it, but like unapologetically us. Like we could be assholes, but we like it's coming from a place of love.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for sure.
So what's a big misconception of Rhode Island?
That is some sticks. Like it's just sticks. Like city. Like it's just
Yeah.
like cows and like it's not. It's just like any other city. It's just not as. It's not big. You know what I mean? So, but
That's fair.
I think anybody that goes, I wish they get a chance to actually go and experience it. It's beautiful. It's green. Again, the food is amazing. Like we got the best culinary schools. We got the best hospitals. I would say we got the best arts. But it's just like a hidden gem, like the United States hidden gem. Like if you don't know about it, you don't know about it. But when you go, you won't regret it.
For sure. So like you got to Vegas. How was that? Like how did you get to Vegas today? What was that journey like?
So like when I was in Rhode Island, like I have a background in sales. So like I was in furniture sales at the time. And then was doing good. And then they just had an opportunity for me to relocate and like to go to Cali. And like before that I was just always in Rhode Island. I never left. And like living in a small city, people grow with that mentality of like, oh, if it's longer than 15 minutes, we're not going. You know what I mean? So I think it was my opportunity to like really experience something new. Like I didn't go to college, or like I didn't really get to have that experience. So I just figured, you know what, like I ain't got nothing to lose. Let me go. But it was also kind of like a dream of mine, especially with the clothing stuff, because I always told myself that I wanted to be in Cali to do it, because I knew that like California was one of the meccas of like it was either that or New York to kind of learn everything, you know. So
Exactly.
when the opportunity presented itself, and it, honestly, like by the grace of God, it just happened that way. Like I didn't pay for it in a sense. It was like relocated. It was a smooth transition where I know some people that like packed the whole car and like lived out a trunk and stuff like that, and like or like couch surf. I didn't do it. I was fortunate not to do all that stuff.
It's just a blessing.
Yeah, but I think again, it was like I think it was made for me to do that. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't really make it up. You know.
So when did you move out here? Like maybe past high school years?
Oh, so I mean, yeah, it was. So when I moved to Cali, I was already like an adult. Like I said, like 27. But then, like I would say, coming to Vegas is like obviously after COVID. So I would say like it's a different version of me now. Like you know what I mean? I think everybody kind of changed after COVID, and I became more just like on like my purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Vegas was just a part of it. Like I was in Cali for a little bit, but then I knew it was like it wasn't sustainable. You know what I mean? I couldn't like it was just crazy expensive, and I wasn't trying to be no movie star or nothing like that. So what's the closest thing to it that's not like it? But you know, you still get the weather. You don't really get the winter no more, and it's still like I have access to get to California if I still needed to go back. So
sure.
Vegas was the closest thing, and I just knew. And especially like I didn't realize like how much resources Vegas also has, like with like Magic and all the like convention centers and stuff like that. Like a lot of people, like I would suggest like anybody doing anything to come to Vegas and like go to those conventions and learn more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
So you saying Vegas is like the bootleg Cali, huh?
I wouldn't even say that, because then like being out here for 3 years, Vegas is its own thing. It's just hard to describe it. Like what is Vegas swag? Like you can't really put your pinpoint on it unless it's like UNLV gear or anything that just has Vegas on it. But I think like the more that I'm out here, the more I'm like understanding that like Vegas is a unique place on its own. Like I just think that it just needs to get to a place where it claims it as it's like this is Vegas and nothing but Vegas.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because because Vegas kind of reminds me of Rhode Island. It's small even though it's big. The city is small still, right? And you guys kind of get that like little brother approach from California, but the
Especially LA.
yeah,
Especially
right.
LA.
But I don't like me being kind of in both. I don't kind of see it the same though. Like I think the people are different here compared to LA, and it's like not in a bad way, but like in a good way in the sense like they are who they are, you know. And you can kind of tell the difference between the two.
Yeah, I feel like it's a melting pot for sure. It's also a spot where it transitions a lot. That's why Vegas can't stick to just one type of culture, like have a famous saying or different. Like there's different spots out here that's a Vegas staple, but it's so many people that come and go out of here to where it's kind of hard to just stick to this is Vegas and this is how it's going to be. You know, how Texas feels in certain parts, like this is Texas. I feel like in especially Nevada and stuff, it's kind of hard to get to that point just because you got Vegas and you have Reno, obviously, but then in the middle of that is so much landmass.
Yeah, and it's
nothing
just like
going on.
yeah, in the middle of nothing too.
Yeah, so it's I feel like that's the beauty behind it, just because you get to see all types of cultures, all types of fashion, all types of hidden gems in Vegas. That's just the unique side of it.
Yeah, and to be honest, there's a dope art scene that I didn't know existed here, and that's
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
that's what I really like about Vegas. Like the Arts District alone is a place that you can just always go to, and you'll always see something new. You know.
Yep.
So that's what I appreciate about Vegas the most, and I don't think a lot of people talk about that part. Like, I think when people think of Vegas, they think of like casinos and all that other stuff, but like there's definitely culture in Vegas. You just gotta tap into it and look and like try to find it for the most part.
Absolutely. It's like little groups here and there, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. I wanted to ask you because you're SmoothCats.
Yes.
You know, that's what a lot of people see you as. That's your brand. I want to specifically ask you, before you got to SmoothCats, who were you? You know, what's your background?
For sure.
And what built up to that?
So when I started the brand, it started back in Rhode Island, but like to kind of even go further than that, it's like, so I was in school, you know what I mean? I was kind of being like a knucklehead, a class clown. Like I just couldn't stay focused with books, but I just always knew I was a creative person. So like I used to do graffiti and I used to tag, and my tag name was Smooth. And I would just always like tag it. And then as I was like developing life or whatever, and just going, I'm like, I know I don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything, but I wanted to like create, and I wanted to kind of create, but not also be like, oh, designs by Jason or anything like that, right? So I just kind of wanted to put it under my alias, right, which was Smooth. But then I also kind of wanted to call the person wearing it Smooth. And at that time, I was looking for like something that is unique and it wasn't taken. And like, I used to just hear like, oh, what up? Like, that's a Smooth cat right there. And then like when I Googled it, there was no definition for it. So like, for me, I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to actually kind of like take the internet real estate behind it. So like now, if you Google SmoothCats, you're gonna see me. And like,
That's a fair trade right there.
it was just like the reason why I named it that. It was just like for the person wearing my stuff is a Smooth cat, but like I also made an abbreviation for it too. So like the word smooth actually means someone motivated on overcoming the hardship. So like
okay.
I just think everybody in the world got to go through some type of hardship, right?
You got to repeat that. What is that again?
All right, so like
For the viewers out there.
Yeah, for sure. So like smooth stands for someone motivated on overcoming the hardship.
Wow, okay.
And like
that's
for me, what resonates, I mean, that's just like my life story, you know. I think, but it's everybody's life story, right? So I think we all go through hardships, but what makes you smooth is figuring a way out, like to get over it and like overcome it. and that makes you a better, stronger person too every day. So I kind of want to always make sure that that message is being resonated with people, especially when they see it. They know what it stands for. You know what I mean?
Right. Did you have any names prior to that? Like as you were coming up with SmoothCats, were the names you was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and then all of a sudden,
Nah. To be honest,
SmoothCats just came.
it was kind of like it fell right into it. You know what I mean? Like I would think that it would have been like, oh nah, somebody. I could tell you like when I first made the website, somebody had smoothcats.com, and like when I looked into it, it was like skinless cats. And I was like,
Okay.
what the heck? But then
Yeah.
I ended up putting like 401 at the end just to kind of represent Rhode Island a little bit from it. But now I still have the brand, but now it's like I changed the website to like Good Taste Market because I just want a home for all my designs and my creations and the things that I create in one hub. So, you know, like there's SmoothCast, but I want to have a bunch of different outlets like God Bless the Homies or any other like design concepts that live within my head in a way to express it on just a website.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned God Bless the Homies. I saw that. That kind of like, caught my eye when I first saw your brand in person, actually.
Yeah.
And what kind of inspired that?
Honestly, like that design was inspired by like all the people that I met during this journey. You know what I mean? Like that supported me, that do the little things like repost, share, comment, and just enjoy the stuff that I make. It's like
Yeah.
a thank you to them. You know what I mean? It's just like when I make it, I just want to kind of have a little prayer for all those people, and then like anybody that actually sees it. So then I think when people do see it, it just resonates. Because then, who doesn't want to bless the people that they love? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's just so cherished. So hopefully, when I do make it and the people wearing it, they get that feeling and they want to pass it on. You know?
Does your brand represent something that, like, as you was developing it, was it a personal storm you was going through, or was it like during a good time in your life to where it's like you're feeling motivated? Let me finally put all the pieces together.
For sure. I think when I started it, it was more or less like trying to find a thing for me. You know what I mean? What was my thing? You know what I mean? I had like a lot of friends, you know, go to school to be like doctors and like lawyers and all type. But like I said, I've always been creative. But I used to hear like, oh, you're not gonna make no money in that. You're not gonna make no money in art. You're not gonna make no money in like that kind of stuff. So I went into sales doing that for a little bit, but like it always like my creative was always like running, and then I just was like, I gotta like make something that's uniquely mine, and I can have like something that lasts longer than me. So making it, there was a bunch of different like trials and tribulations, but at every point of them, I think I just grew stronger and better after I learned it. So then it's like a propeller of like self growth. And that's what I like to say about my brand. It's just really like my journey of self growth as a person and how I'm becoming better and better, as well as my designs become better and better with time. So
You mentioned designs because I personally see the work you put in, and I can tell you've grown a lot from it because you do your own, screen printing. You sew things yourself. You do a lot of in-house stuff that a lot of people who start up their brands or they're already established, we could say, they pay people to do what you do for your own brand. What got you to that point to where, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm not about to be paying
no, for
all these
sure.
people, taking out of my funds to
Yeah.
do something that I can just learn and just master myself.
I would say like at first I started like anybody else, like it was early years of like Alibaba. So a lot of people didn't really know about Alibaba when I first did it. But that's when I tried it. But like I got so like this is like a trial and tribulation moment, right? Where I would order pieces and then they would come back wrong. The size was off. It wasn't exactly how I envisioned it. You know what I mean? But it was a good stepping stone to learn. So but it was always just like, oh, how do I find the like proper manufacturer, how to talk to them properly, like, because there's a language within it. But when I first started, I didn't know. I was just like, oh, I want this and that and that and that, and not knowing how to actually like describe what I want in details. Because it's like telling somebody how to make something, but they don't know how to make it. So how do you tell them to make it when they don't
Right.
like? You got to kind of guide them if you never made it before. So I think once I moved to California though, that was like my college crash course, because then there it was like a lot of creative people actually making it right there, and I was able to see it and I was able to learn, and it was very motivating to see people do it. So then that's when the shift happened, where it was like, I can always pay, but then I'm always going to be dependent on somebody, and it's not on my time, and I can be a little impatient, you know what I mean? Like, so
We all like that.
yeah, so I like to just have the control in my hands sometimes. So that was the motivation, and I just honestly like YouTube. There was a Mood fabric store. Unfortunately, there's not Moods all over the world, but like the fabric store actually had like a quick sewing lesson, so I kind of like picked up the basics. But after that, I just self-taught on everything, like, and meet people on the way that are in the same thing. So little tips and tricks, and then a lot of trial and error. To be honest with you, bro, like it sucks to fail, but it's you got to also embrace it, because then now you fail, so then now you know how to do it better.
Was there equipment you had before the equipment you have now?
Oh yeah.
Just for the people that's trying to get to where you at, did you have to start off?
Oh yeah, like you gotta. I think
something on the cheaper end, and now
yeah,
you got
yeah,
something.
yeah, for
All right,
sure.
I'm gonna stick with this. This is what I always wanted.
I think it's encouraging for anybody, because again, once you start the process, like I didn't spend a whole bunch of money at first, because then it's like I wanted to learn if I could do it, if it was something that I wanted to do, and then like invest in the time to keep going with it, right?
That's smart. Yeah.
I started with like a Cricut cutter machine, you know what I mean? So I was just cutting vinyl, had a little heat press, just pressing it on, and it was cool to then understand different applications and different ways to put designs on clothes. So that was like my intro. But then what it also did was like foster that hunger for more to get better, because it was like vinyl was cool, but I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't like the way it was after you wash it and stuff like that. So I was like, no, it's got to be a better way. Like, so then from there, it was like, all right, that's how I learned about screen printing and the process of screen printing and like the highest form of it, and then also DTG and embroidery and everything like that. So then from the Cricut machine, I ended up like going on Amazon, buying like the quick, I think it was like $100. It's like a 4-color 2-station press. Just so then I can kind of understand the squeegee and the press. And I did that, and then I realized like it's good to start cheap, but then you also understand why certain things are more and less, right? So the more that you pay for the equipment, sometimes you get the better equipment that can do things to make your life easier compared to when you don't. So I think, but slowly as I see people gravitating to my work, I just knew I wanted to give them a better product. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to just be like, oh yeah, this is my brand, and then it's a vinyl shirt. Because then that first impression, I know what it's like when I got it. It's just like, oh no, I didn't like that. So it was just like, how can I give somebody something that I would approve, something that I like, something that I know that it will last the test of time almost. And that's why I kind of decided to go the screen printing route than the DTG route, which there is no right or wrong way of doing it. But I just feel like the artwork of screen printing, like the art form of it,
It looks so much better.
oh my God. Like, like when you touch it, you wash it, everything. It's like, it's just kind of like, those thrift shirts. Like they made them in the 90s, but you still see them to this day. Like they last forever.
You can't iron over it
Nah,
sometimes.
yeah, like, and ultimately that's kind of what I wanted to kind of create in the world, is like create statement pieces, but like they last forever. Like, you know what I mean? So it's something that you could pass down to your friends, family, whoever, and it's something that they still want to wear, it feels good, and it's of quality,
Right. And even building on this, on SmoothCats, was it a point, because boundaries is a big thing, especially as you building your business at any level, especially if you're trying to incorporate different people into it, different ideas. Was there a time where you had people that you were going to build SmoothCats with, and then now it's kind of like, what, it just wasn't working out. Let me build by myself. Let me take this on by myself and learn who I am, learn what SmoothCats is, and just go on from there.
I was kind of fortunate in the beginning. Like, there was people that like saw like my just hustle and drive and just keep doing it, and they came aboard and helped me at certain times. And and I'm always forever grateful for them. You know what I mean? I think for me, it's kind of hard to like take in so many opinions of others and take, because then it relinquishes my ideas and what I want to put out.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I noticed that like even though people wanted to be a part of it, it was hard for them to have the same kind of like drive and like hunger and like the vision. It's not the same. Like people want to be a part of a ride, but it's like sometimes they don't understand what it takes to actually like still be on the ride if when things don't work out or it doesn't look fruitful at first, you know? So it takes a lot of dedication and like commitment. So I didn't want to put that pressure on nobody. You know what I mean? Where I just was like, if I fail, it's on me, you
Right.
know? And I didn't want to make anybody else feel like they failed at something that they believed in, you know? Because then I could sit with my own failures, but to have somebody there with me to fail is kind of like, damn, I didn't want that to happen, you know?
That can be a problem, a conflict of
Yeah.
different ideas, especially. I like it to a point to where it's like I can take your ideas, you can take my ideas, and we can integrate it.
Yes.
You know, but then you get to a point, some ideas is too far fetched, and you have to wait, especially when finances are involved. You kind of have to push it off, but it's a matter of building with not only intelligent people, but people who can actually lead with love, who can actually, you know what, you may not like my idea, but you still love me. You know what I'm saying? You're not a yes man at that
Yeah.
point. And as you building on your business, you can't have a lot of yes men. You know, was there a point to where you had some yes men in your corner, or were they
No,
very
not.
honest in a way?
I feel like I'm kind of good at reading that, and it doesn't like we don't mix well. It's like oil and vinegar almost. Like it just doesn't work like that because I kind of like when people tell me the opposite. Because if you did like, I don't really like that. I mean, then actually want to do it more because then it's like, all right, cool. Because now I'm doing something that people are not used to seeing.
Because you don't even know if like the customer base, they may like that.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
can't build thinking only for you. You got to think for them.
But
Yeah.
but like to go back to the team thing, I think building a team is important, but I think in the way of finding people passionate about the things that they're passionate about. So like I
Okay.
wouldn't team up with somebody that wants to create their own brand. I'll help them create their own brand, but I wouldn't team up with them because then again, there would be probably those clashes, right? But I would love to team up with somebody that's like a photographer or a stylist or people that are passionate in their own fields, just the way I'm passionate in mine, because I think then that's when we can really create some really dope stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't like to intrude in people's creative process. So if you're a photographer, I kind of want to let you do your thing. I don't want to come and tell you how to do your thing. You know what I mean? Like that's not, because I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like if I make clothes, it's kind of like, and especially I've done it for a while, so it's kind of hard to like hear somebody's critique and they never done it before. You know? So,
Now, I see you have unique pieces. Like you can have a simple like Sade shirt, right? But it's nothing you'll see at, let's just say, H&M, Culture Kings, Forever 21. You know those
Yeah.
fast fashion markets. Do you design yourself? Like,
Yes.
what is that process like?
So I do like again, I do everything myself. I've learned how to cut out all the middlemen. So the design process, it was just like learning how to do Photoshop. You know what I mean? Illustrator. I think a lot of people tend to skip steps in the sense of like the process of making clothes. So it's like when you have a shirt, it starts as fabric first, and sometimes it starts as white fabric, and then you dye it, and then you gotta cut it. So it put it together. So once you have the t-shirt or the hoodie or whatever it is, then you have to think about how do I want to decorate it. You can keep it as a blank, but then nobody's ever gonna really know. It's just like a piece of paper. So if I gave you a piece of paper with nothing on it, it's just a piece of paper.
Exactly.
But if I draw on it and I put, now it's art. So that's how I look at all my pieces now. So it's like I want to create the artwork, but my medium isn't paper; it's clothes. So if I wanted to like have a message like God bless the homies and like put that out there, I feel like it's almost easier to promote the message when it's on somebody's back, when it's on their chest, or it's on their like anywhere on them where they're walking and they're just showcasing how they really feel. You know what I mean? And I think that's powerful in this way.
For sure.
But yeah, man, I'm trying to like I don't want to lose the chain of thought, but
You good?
Yeah, like I just think that the creative process alone is almost like it's like the closest thing to be like God to me. You know what I mean? Like creating is like God as a creator, right? And like if we're all in the image of Him, the closest thing that we can do like Him is to create. So
Right.
I think that's like why I love to create and make anything and just even make things that probably don't work, but it's just to get it out.
Is your brand a reflection of your personal relationship with God? And do you have a journey story you would like to touch on as far as basically were you always close to God, like working on your journey with Him, and was
I'm
it as strong as it is now?
I think it
You
definitely
know,
it took some work because at first it was like, you kind of like a skeptic, right? You don't really know what to believe, but then it's like, I think what made me so stronger in my faith in God and whatnot is just like the moments where you don't have nobody and the only person you got is Him,
yeah,
right? Or however you identify the universe, I really don't care, but like, and you get signs to show that you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, and I think because again, I don't have the answers. I didn't. There's no roadmap to it. So
it's
on
not.
like me just doing the journey, I'm going blind, you know. But like those moments where I feel anxious or like lost, he's always like there's always been guidance in that way, and or like if I needed an answer somehow, some way it came to me. So that's what always like built that foundation of the faith, and it just only grew from there. And now I don't really question it, and I'm more open to like if it was for me, it's for me. You know, it comes my way, but I don't really gotta like stress it anymore or like overcomplicate it for
So
like
whenever
the
you have a downtime, whenever you feel discouraged, you go in your prayer closet and
yeah,
you
and it
give it
just
onto Him.
yeah, because then that person knows like God knows you better than anything else. Like you know what I mean when nobody else is around, how you really feel. You know what I mean. So those intimate moments is where I kind of pull myself back up from those places where it could be like imposter syndrome or like you just feeling lost in the journey and like, oh, am I doing the right thing or is this for me? Like sometimes, like I said, you'll get those little reminders like, no, yeah, you're doing it. Just
Yeah.
keep going. And I think that's the hardest part. It's just consistency. Like you gotta just stay consistent. And you don't know, but as long as you're having a good time doing it and you enjoy what you're doing, that's all that matters.
Exactly. Was that part of your upbringing? Like, were you always brought up to believe in God and to, have a personal relationship, or was that after kind of like you got grown and
I
you
think I
figured life
think
out for just yourself?
no, like I was like when I was growing up, my mom was religious in a sense. So like I knew the presence of God, but I didn't like I think for me it was like I need to see it to believe it kind of guy. Like I needed some type of miracles and stuff to kind of be like,
Likewise,
oh,
yeah.
all right. And honestly, as I continue to grow, man, I've been in some jams, and I wouldn't lie to you if I had to say like, God, please, like if you can help me out this one time, or like those moments of like, damn, I'm lost. Can you put the right person in front of me, or can you just give me the answers that I'm looking for? And ironically, like it'll happen. And I'm like, hold up, like. It's really there, but it's really up to you if you want to kind of tap into that and
And it
like,
don't work on your time; it work on His.
yeah, and that's
That's
one of
the
the hard lessons that I had to learn. You know what I
man. It
mean?
make you doubt a lot.
For
It make
sure.
you doubt, especially you like yourself, a business owner. You start to doubt, a lot of things. So it's just crazy how things work. It just doesn't happen on your time, like I
That's
said.
a
But
fact.
when it comes to community, how would you like to, you know, um, share this with your community? How would you like to build on top of it?
I think honestly for the community and like what I would like to do is just like give people hope, man. I think in the world, especially now, there's not a lot of hope out there for people. So like if I could just be a beacon of an example of like you don't gotta go to school, you don't gotta be the smartest person in the room, you don't gotta have everything put together, but as long as you stay consistent and committed and like loyal to the craft, you can do it. You know what I mean? It's just really up to you and your dedication to it. But like I just hope that like I could see somebody like, because growing up in Rhode Island, there wasn't a lot of me's, you know. So it's like we didn't have an example of somebody that can do it and actually make something out of it. So I think I pride myself in actually being that kind of person for somebody that is like the younger version of me that wanted to see somebody creative and do what they wanted to do and not kind of conform to what society or the world wants you to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, you're heavy into fashion. So growing up, would people talk about the way you styled your clothes or the way you presented yourself,
Yeah.
even down to like your hairstyle? Because me personally, I got a lot of slack all the time. Things I would wear, even down to shoelaces, like the little things are like, why are you wearing that and stuff? It's like, because I want to. Why I gotta, and it usually comes from people who try to dress like other people,
Yeah.
either ASAP, rappers, influencers, Hollywood people, even local people they just trying to like look cool for. Did you have to navigate that too? Just people talking they miss?
Yeah, honestly, like now that you mentioned it, like I do remember like when I was at work, I used to like the business casual wear, right? But like even though fashion is just a form of expression, right? So how we just want to express ourselves. So like I can remember like putting on I would wear suits, but not like everybody else. Like there would be people that work like matching suits and like and I'm switching it up. I'll give you like a khaki chino pant with a nice green blazer and a nice baby blue button up and a nice little like funky tie or something. Just so
Yeah.
I stand out and I'm not like everybody else because I don't want to be like everybody else. But I did get pushback on it, and I had braids at the time, so I had like long hair, right? And I think what happens is, and especially in society, I feel like there's some people that still don't know themselves or like find their identity, where when they see somebody that is comfortable in their own skin or like just knows themselves, it can be intimidating to them, you know? And sometimes when people are intimidated, they don't know how to like maybe even give a compliment to be like, yo, you know what? I like your style. You know, I like what you do. Instead of just like, why would you do that? Like they have to question it. But I kind of now realize like maybe you're questioning it because you want to look for the answers for yourself. You know? Because then it's
Right.
like my sense of style is me, and I wouldn't want nobody wanting to dress like me in a sense because then it's like you're not being authentically you. And
Exactly.
I want to be around people that want to be themselves.
Like you kind of okay. I see why you wore that.
Yeah,
Okay, you
like
you got your own little style. That's cool, but you don't want to be around those who just try to copy,
yeah, like
and
mannequin
just don't have their
shoppers.
identity because now birds of a feather flock together. So
Correct.
if they don't have their own identity, it's like that can kind of transfer onto you. Like their spirits can get onto you to where you can get lost in the sauce. So how do you avoid those situations of like, are you very selective of who you have around you? And have you
Yes.
always been like that?
No, I haven't, and I had to learn the hard way. But then, like just life lessons. You learn what is pouring into you and what's taking away from you. And I think what I've had to learn the hard way is like you can pour into a lot of people, but that doesn't also mean that they're gonna be the same way with you. Like the way you treat people doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna treat you the same way. And I had to learn that that's nobody's fault but mine to have that expectation on people.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is that I can put boundaries or I can like set the tone of who I want to be with or who I want to be around with or who I want to associate myself with because again I am the type of person to kind of pour into people and I think we all kind of want that in return, so it's just finding those people that are reciprocal to the way that caters to you know what I mean? So it was hard, but now I think it's just easy. Like it's just finding like-minded individuals that kind of go through the same thing. It's like I think, to be honest, like if you're creative, I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna be cool with you for sure.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like wise counsel told me, being around people well, not being around people, it's more trying to navigate what's comfortable for you and the people who make you comfortable, but you can't always expect you from other people.
Exactly.
That's the hardest thing for me to, navigate through in life. But once you find those people that you kind of see eye to eye, obviously you're gonna have your
Yeah.
differences, but they kind of get great values in life and they try to strive towards that. It can make things a lot a lot better. But also want to touch up on, are there any boundaries that you're not willing to, barter with? Like you just like, hey, I'm sticking to this. This is part of my values.
Yeah, I think most definitely I have some type of boundaries with just like what I want to design, who I want to work for. Like if it's not more morally or like ethically aligning with me, I don't want nothing to do with it. Honestly, like money's cool, but it's not the end all be all for me to kind of sway who I am as a person to do something. You know, like if I feel like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So. So I try to stay away from things that I don't think I see eye to eye with. So you may not see a lot of like demonic stuff from me, but no, there's no knock to nobody that does it. It's just not my cup of tea, you know.
For sure.
So
Yeah, definitely. Do you plan on opening up a store? Like, has
it
that
was a
always been a
dream.
thought?
Like when I first went to California, right? It was a dream to open up a store on Fairfax, and like Nicky Diamonds and Union and all these spots. Like yeah, but then like logistical and like once you kind of like see what's behind the doors and you understand how it works, it's like we live in a day and age now. It's like I'd rather just have a website and just DTC go straight to that. The website, a brick and mortar is cool, but it's just like it's a lot of overhead nowadays, and it doesn't make any sense. And I'm trying to be, I want to be able to create clothes until I die. You know what I mean? And if I take on too much I can chew, I could just drown myself out fast. So I've learned from like different people that open up stores and gone through it, and it's especially like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to just like pay for overhead and make sure that everything, you got to do the marketing and everything. So I like to like take things as I can and make it manageable and just kind of scale as I go. Because again, it is just me. You know what I mean? Like hopefully once I'm able to build a team big enough, it wouldn't be a storefront, but it'll probably be like a creative warehouse.
Are there any brands that you see that have a storefront brick and mortar that's overrated in your eyes as a fashion creator?
I wouldn't want to call no brands out, but there's a lot of like, there's a lot of like consignment stores or like there's this like fly by night brands that come out of nowhere and they're like lightning in a bottle, but there is no like real like story behind it, and it makes it hard for, I guess, like for me to resonate with, because it's like, how do I, like, I think one brand that I can kind of name off the top that I actually kind of like see and admire is like, and a lot of people don't really even bring this up, but like I kind of like Greg Lawrence stuff.
Okay.
And Dapper Dan too. Like I love people that actually get their hands dirty or like kind of push the box and do things that you normally don't see. You know what I mean? So as long as I see that, then I'm cool with it. But like honestly, like I said, fashion is an expression. So who am I to tell you that what you got on is whack? You know what I mean? I just know you can't tell me what I got on is whack though. Like
Yeah, because it's me.
yeah, like regardless of however you feel, that's your opinion. But I don't feel that way. So
It's fly to me. It's about learning. Once you know yourself, I mean, it's always a work in progress.
Yeah.
You're going to have times where you doubt yourself and that low self-esteem kicks in. But once you know, like, you can't buy swag.
Nah,
it's
in you. Yeah.
It should be naturally in you.
Gotta
Some
have the
people got to
sauce.
work on it.
Yeah, the sauce
Exactly.
lasts forever. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you brought up a good point about expressing yourself, because like in psychology, even fashion can be a sense of someone getting to know themselves and who they are, and it can build up their confidence, build up their self-esteem. Was that a sense for you? And or even like, have you seen people make a transition in their style and it kind of like put them over the top as far as their confidence in a good way, not in a prideful way? Because as you can see, some people, they don't know how to act when they get their first piece of clothing, expensive clothing, or they start to build up a style that they either copied or built up from themselves, so they turn into a whole different person.
Yeah,
It's
sometimes
negative.
they feel like they have to kind of live into the clothes that they're in.
Main character syndrome.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way. Yeah.
I think for me, my style kind of grew in like, cause again, I grew up and like my parents didn't really have a lot, so I had to kind of like make do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, like how I used to just like put clothes on, it was kind of creative. So it was like, all right, I may have like maybe 2 pairs of jeans and like 5 shirts, but like how can I pick out clothes that when I put them together, every time they look new in a different outfit, but it's only like 5 pieces. So it
Mm-hmm.
really like helped me learn about color palettes, um, with contrasting and then counter contrasting colors, and like really challenging myself. So like growing up, like I wouldn't buy any crazy shoes. Like I would probably buy like some Tims or white Air Forces because
Okay.
they're universally you could wear it damn near with anything, right? So I would get stuff like that, and then like I would try to find pieces that were statement pieces, but again still universal. So like again, I'm still into army fatigue. I feel like army fatigue is just something you could universally wear with anything.
And
Like
it's timeless too.
yeah, cargo pants will always be my like it has my heart forever. Like it's just being comfortable in my own skin and not wearing something that doesn't feel like me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
What's your biggest advice you would give to those who are trying to be like you? Like they don't have any equipment, they thought about the same ideas you have that you're actually putting into work. What's some, 2 pieces of advice you can give to
for
put them
sure,
over the top and motivate them?
I would say don't overthink it. Just do it because obviously you're not gonna have the answers. You're not gonna know what you're doing, but I feel like the moment you start, that's when the questions or the answers that you're looking for will start to formulate. So like for a perfect example, when I was doing vinyl, I wouldn't have known to do screen printing unless I started with vinyl to be like, all right, you know what? Now I kind of understand layers and how things should go, but now I want it to be better. How can I make it better? And then that will start the next snowball effect of learning and growing. So, but it would have never happened if I was just like, nah, that's just too much. Like if I talk negative to myself and just make it sound like it's more impossible, then I'll never do it. But if I
Right.
make it sound easy and just like, nah, that's a breeze, even though I may not get it the first time, if I make it sound easy, then it's gonna be easy, you know? And I think that's like the trick. It's kind of like tricking your mind to know that you can do it. It may not be the first way you do it, or it
Yep.
may not be perfect the first time, but you did it. And that's what's more important than anything.
Wise man here.
I tried,
Wise
you know what I
man.
mean?
Wise man. But so I see you at markets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you always participate in the markets around the valley. What are some that people can find you at that's up and coming for the rest of this year?
Yeah, for
Next
sure.
year.
You could definitely find me. First Fridays, I'll pop out. Sometimes you'll catch me at the Arts District, Earth Exchange. Most definitely, I'll be there.
For sure.
Anything that like kind of resonates with me, and then like the community, and just brings out like that good atmosphere. You could almost definitely find me there if I have pieces. Sometimes I may end up selling out, and I may have to take a little break off to create more, so then I can go back to the
That's
market.
better. That's
Hey,
even
yeah,
better,
yeah,
man.
it's a good
You
problem,
want to
right?
sell out.
Yeah, for sure.
How was your experience at the Earthside Exchange? Because it was like the first one, and
It was
how was
dope,
it for you?
man. It was like it was the exact atmosphere that I wanted and looking for, and it's just like it was very community based, which I love. And like again, I want to thank you for even creating the space for that. You know what I mean? Because
Of
it's
course,
like
yeah.
it felt like a nice, open, safe space for creators to kind of showcase what they had, and I met a lot of dope people that one day. So I'm excited to see what more you got, and I want to be a part of it, the journey and everything. So I definitely recommend anybody that's starting the journey or wants to do it, like do pop-ups, but like link with the community leaders that want to do things for the community, because those are the ones that's going to help you grow your brand, your business, or whatever. Like it's cool to be friends with people, but like be in the graces of people that want to create uh, an environment for you. You know what I mean? Like that's where
Absolutely.
you'll really start to excel and be around like-minded individuals that'll help you grow.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I know, like a little disclaimer. I like to also, like we talked about this before, telling people the dirt behind it. People always try to fabricate life and always talk about only the best things, which is great. You want to talk about your wins, but also the losses. Like I remember in the beginning, you know, it was a bunch of cars coming in and
Yeah.
out. It was like a traffic jam, but just how everything flowed and just your presence, you know, you being there, because, you know, we had communicated
Yeah, yeah.
along the way, and just your spirit and how you actually was like, bro, I want to come. I was like, come on, bro, like come
Yeah,
sell
for
your stuff.
sure.
And when I saw it, because I've never saw it before,
Mm-hmm.
it just caught my eyes, especially, you know, God bless the homies, and you had your own unique pieces.
Yes.
And I'm just glad that you're able to, you know, join me today and be able to share with the community on your journey, your brand, and how those who are trying to get to where you're at, locally, internationally, even, you know, how you got there and what advices you can give them. And there's probably those who had to close shop today, you
Yeah.
know, and they heard your message and now they're like, you know what, I'm gonna pick it back up. Or even if they don't feel motivated, at least they got to hear you from a local standpoint and not from like some kind of corporate standpoint that's just unrealistic.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and that's why I'm here to really showcase y'all. It's about y'all at the end of the day. And whatever I can do to get y'all voices heard, y'all brands out there. That's why I'm always like, even throughout the, you know, that exchange, like whatever y'all need, you know, let me know. I may not have all the money in the world because
Yeah.
it's hard times for everybody, but when you have a sense of community and you actually want to see people win, you know, especially if you're going through hard times, man, it can make magic, especially if it's coming from a genuine heart and you're leading with love. But where can people find you, like social media or even outside of social media?
Yeah, so you could definitely find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that, and you could look up Jason So Smooth. That's my personal, like that's where you'll see a lot of like behind the scenes. But if you
Okay.
want to see just like the brand stuff, you could follow SmoothCats 401 or Good Taste Market to see the artwork. And then like I do have a YouTube channel. I've been throwing up tutorials on there, just trying to teach people, you know, everything that I know. So if you want to learn, pick up some, you can go to SmoothCast 401 on YouTube. And then if you want to shop the website or download any free assets, goodtastemarket.com too. So
Good Taste Market.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard of that website.
Well, I just made it like this is all recent. So like
Okay.
yeah, just wanted to kind of create a hub for all my creations. So like just and again create resources for people just like who want to learn. So on there right now, it's like I have like a little like sewing kit. So like maybe like if you want to get into sewing, I have like a little checklist of everything that you would need to start. It's free. You could just go and
Y'all hear
download
that?
it.
Y'all need to check that out. If
Yeah,
y'all really
yeah,
trying to, you know, get in tune with what he's trying to do, man,
yeah. I mean,
that's amazing. You don't see too many people doing that
you
at
know, I
all.
just
Like
think that it's like
you see a lot of gatekeeping.
I think it's our responsibility to kind of pay it forward too, right? So
Yeah.
the way I look at it is like, obviously I'm not gonna be on this earth forever, right? But like, if I can kind of create a hub of all this information, it'll live longer than I will. You know what I mean? And if you ever need a library or a reference to go back to it, it's there for you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any kids now, but like, if I ever did, they'll always have that for them. You know what I mean? Even when I'm not around. So
Absolutely.
I think that that's important to me to do, and then just to give back to the people that I love and the people that love me.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm grateful to have met you, even if it was online
Likewise,
first
bro.
and seeing you in person. You know, we gonna chat more, even outside the
Yeah, nah, for
cameras and
sure.
stuff. We gonna, even if we just hang out, chop it up. But I thank you for coming today, and
Nah, thank you for having me,
man,
bro.
I
Like,
hope we can do this again.
nah,
We don't
nah, for
have to.
sure. And again,
Yeah.
like this is like to circle back into like the whole like spirit. Like we met for a reason, and like this whole sit down, everything is for a reason. So I'm blessed and grateful to meet like cross paths with you in this lifetime, and
Yes.
that we had the opportunity to actually like chop it up and actually do this because I definitely appreciate what you do and what you're doing, and I'm here to support you
Yeah.
in any way to help you grow. So you have me, reach out, let me know,
Likewise.
man.
Likewise, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Brother, thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.